Good evening, everyone. I'm Bushido for Dry Sucks AAR, and here we are again with Armored Warfare. It's like Groundhog Day. It just keeps coming back. Uh, I, I'm sitting here going, why I'm even trying to come back. I think it's mainly because I do like the game. I do, and I want to play some modern tanks. Um, but let's see here. Let's do it. Let's see. Whew. 9 in queue. Let's see how this goes. I think there's a few in a match right now, I'll be fair. But as I've sat here and think about this, I really don't have a good answer. At this point, I don't care if the Tanks Reloaded is good or it's bad compared to the old way. I'm going to tell you why it's bad, and not because I think there's just the sweeping changes they made or anything like that. I think from just a business standpoint. First off, and again, maybe it is my opinion, the old model was not that bad. In fact, it was a good foundation, and they should have spent the last 8 months building upon that instead of going back and reinventing the wheel. The player base was already, you know, down, but at least you had a game that had a good foundation, and you could have spent those months adding content, keep tweaking and developing and adding content. The key word here, add content. That's what keeps people there, keeps them coming back. Now you've done a sweeping change. Okay, some people might come back to check out the sweeping change. However, when they find out, hey, whoa, my game's completely different than what it is. And then some may like it. I'm not saying they don't. In fact, I don't even actually hate it. But I can't even get a game to come up with a great opinion about it because there's nobody playing it. Content. Okay, so the other two tank games, they're averaging about every 2 months they have a content update, and then maybe once a year they do like some sweeping changes or something really massive. I think that is a pretty good model. About every 2 months is a good window, or if sooner is great, because again, people get bored. These games are grindy, and you have to give them something to keep coming back to. So, anyway, I lost my train of thought. So while we're waiting here for if I ever get in a match, I was on the forums, and I'm not much of a forum reader. I find them to be very toxic, no matter what the game is. And I try not to, you know what, I got more important things to do than make comments. I'm not going to sit here and speculate, I guess, what the developers are thinking and all that. And I try not to listen, every other whatever. But there was a thread about somebody tired of the naysayers. And, it just kind of hit me as kind of funny. Of course, the person was going on and on about how great the game was or whatever. And again, I agree, it's a good game. But it's only as good as its player base, and there's no player base. All right, this is just disgusting. Seriously, there is 2 of us in the damn match. I'm sorry, 4 total. Fair enough. Is this even worth my time? All right, let me continue on. Anyway, they were going on about how they were tired of the naysayers and that the game was going to be great, blah, 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 And I'm just like, all right. And again, I didn't comment, and I went through the thread. And, of course, there were some people on that boat, But
Driver, crank it.
how... I don't know what game they're playing. How can you even know if the game's great? You can't play with anybody. And I'm going to be right. I'm just going to... The PvE thing is great. It works, but it's not very good. It's boring. Let's just say it right up front. It's boring. Playing against bots is boring. Is it something that's kind of cool on the side? Yeah, like War Thunder, you can go do these assault things. Honestly, it's as boring as hell also. And I'm waiting on this guy. He's the heavier tank. I'm just going to stick close to him. um, it's not something you do. I go do the assault missions in War Thunder a couple times. Not even that, maybe one a day, hell, maybe one a week since they came out. And I call it and I'm done. That's good enough for me. It's not that exciting. It's kind of a change up, maybe change the pace. Maybe if you had a few bad rounds in PvP, you go do that. Same thing with PvE here. It's just something to fill a gap every now and then. And I'm not even sure, I'll be honest, I'm not even sure how to play. Guys, I'm going to suck at this. And my thought always is that we're going to end up in a standoff here. Nobody's going to move and do anything. So, anyway, yeah, these naysayers are going on, and they're saying they're tired of us people railing on the game. Well, I'm sorry, we have every right to rail on the game. We want to play the game. We want to play the game. Okay? Right now, I am in a match 2-on-2. And this is not some special event. This is, I guess I feel lucky with this. Hopefully he spotted him.
Identify.
I cannot get... Soviet gun depression. There is none! Oh. Oh, and just like that challenger's gonna push me because he knows he can. He's got me in a pickle. Why is my... Oh, what? Am I stuck? Get more maneuver. Gosh. Seriously? Turn hard. Oh, I'm pinned in. Come on. I'm gonna be done. He's just muscling me now. He's muscling me. I'm done. Damn it! At least that was exciting. Somewhat entertaining. I feel bad for my teammate that I suck so bad. I didn't even do any damage. Kind of pathetic. Anyway, back to the naysayers and going, they're tired of hearing us, down their game. And again, I'll be honest, I'm not downing the game. I think the game is, but there's just no players. And why is there no players? Well, I think it's because, one, the game was becoming boring for everybody. And, you can only play so long without any content. When you don't have content, people, why do you think people keep coming back to World of Warcraft and other games? Because they continually update it. And now I know I've heard some people go, well, it's still a beta. Okay, the beta thing, the beta card. Stop playing the goddamn beta card. That is just getting old. At this point, this game is live, and it's lively tanking. Now, I did go over to Europe and play. If anybody of those listening want to get a match, you can actually, at least at this point, I was able to get a match pretty decently. It wasn't bad. Unfortunately, the other side of that coin is my progress is not over there. So at this point, and my latency wasn't bad. I'll be honest, I am United States. I'm in Mountain Time Zone, so my latency was about 140 milliseconds. I was able to play just fine. If you're towards the East Coast, hey, you know what? I think you'll be more than great. So I recommend doing it. However, your progress, I did bring over my premium vehicles, but none of my progress was saved. So that really was kind of like, it's like, it felt like I did all this work. It's like building a home and tearing it down again. I think another great thing they should have done, and award is global account. Just, you know what? If I pick, no matter what I pick, my progress is the same. I think that, I don't even like when World of Tanks separates the player base. But at least in World of Tanks, I can get around. I can get a match. So at this point, I really don't know what they can do. They've made the changes. The changes are done. There's no going back. So at this point, it's going to come down to, one, do they care enough, to start marketing this thing? They need to market it. I don't know why they're waiting so long to start marketing. At this point, the game is live. It's not in beta anymore. Just start marketing the damn thing. And I think it's going to come down to content. Is there a set timeline? And I'd even say they need to be even a little more quicker than normal. They cannot wait 2 months. They need to be doing something about every 30 days and be Johnny on the spot. I know the next patch is supposed to do some more changes, revamp the garage. I'm not even going to go into that. You know what? If it works, it works. I don't even give a shit about the garage at this point. I just want to play a goddamn round with a bunch of people. And by the way, on Europe, I did get a full round as many times as I played. I was just a little downtrodden with having to start over. It was kind of depressing a little bit. And so again, here we are. We're a week. The week? No, not quite a week after the patch. A week after the patch, and it's just rough. It's rough. And again, yeah, I could probably hit PvE and get a match like that, but at the same time, I don't want to. Honestly, I'm really struggling to stay even excited about the PvE. God, I'm getting my merits with PvP. Sorry, guys. I'm having trouble staying excited about that, and no way I'm going to go with PvE. Anyway, I'll try to come off my soapbox. And I think I'm on my soapbox so much because I want the game to succeed. I want it to succeed, but it feels like they're doing everything in their damn power. And I shouldn't say, I'm hoping they care. I really do hope that no matter what, whether it was Obsidian, and I feel Obsidian did try to make a great game. I don't know if their hands were tied or whatever. Or was this just some... hey, we got to make our profit and we're done. I don't know. I hope they care and I hope it succeeds. And again, man, I'm probably going to stay on my soapbox again, because I don't even care about the, again, we all probably invested some money in this. Hey, that's the risk we take. I've said that before. I think what it comes down to, they should just been making more content, polishing the game, little changes over time, not one big sweeping change. Everybody just went on hiatus and then the game just got boring. We've done this. And then people are just like, they have moved on. And the old player base is not coming back. I just seen some people log off that I knew were around when this game was first being developed. I played with. I've seen them pop on, but they don't last very long. I think they're in the same boat. Whether you love or hate the changes, you can't really know, I feel, until you can actually play some real rounds. And that means getting what it was designed to, 15 on 15, this 7 on 7. Hell, at this point, I'd settle for 7 on 7, let's be honest. Anyway, again, I've said my rant for this evening. You know what? Put your comments below. I've seen a lot of great comments, and like the video, dislike the video. Give me your thoughts. Again, I think mostly I want the game to succeed, and maybe I'm actually finally thinking, God, maybe it's just going away, or worst case scenario, like I said, merge with Europe, and I'm cool with that. I'll live with the latency. Anyway, this is Arm Bushido for Dry Sucks AR, and y'all have a great evening.